Hello and welcome to the channel. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for future video notifications. Why is there Islamophobia in the world? In this article, we will try to understand the existence and prejudice of Islamophobia. This article does not intend to support or reject the idea of Islamophobia, but is trying to present an unbiased retrospective analysis on the causes of Islamophobia and the macros which are promoting Islamophobia. This is a topic which cannot be fully covered or understood in a video. Please visit the text article on this topic. The link to the text article is in the description box. Before even understanding the causes of Islamophobia, let's see what is a phobia. A phobia is a medical term which describes a mental and/or physiological state of human suffering due to a disorder resulting from an irrational or unexplained fear of things or situations and reflected in physical or emotional behavior. So what is fear? Fear is the most fundamental of survival instincts, and its importance for survival of a species is as fundamental as hunger and need for reproduction. That is, without fear, the species will simply not exist. A phobia can be triggered in multiple ways. In most cases, it starts with a sensory input like a visual, sound, touch, taste, or smell. The electrical impulses from the sensory inputs are then processed by the brain, and based on how the brain is trained for that particular circumstance, it will trigger a body response. Like when a person stands at a height and has fear of heights, it can trigger a panic attack. The body response may be visible in certain individuals and purely emotional in certain other individuals, or non-visible with only a sense of fear. In some individuals, the stimulus for fear can be purely internal to the body and may not need a sensory trigger, like fear of ghosts or phasmophobia. Islamophobia can be defined as fear of Islam in the minds of certain societies or groups or individuals who are part of the 75.9% world population not following Islam. What is religion? Religion is probably the most misunderstood and discriminatory confusion of mankind. The earliest proof of religion are burial sites dating back to Stone Age, and specifically early part of Stone Age or Paleolithic Age. The earliest concept of God fulfilling our wishes dates back to this period of 3500 BC. The foundation of religion is accepting a superior form of power known as God, be it the million gods in Hinduism or one God in Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Sikhism, and ancestors in Chinese. Each religion follows its own method of pleasing God, and depending on which method is followed, the people following it are known to belong to that particular religion. Emergence of Islam on the timeline of religion. Around 7th century AD rose a religion, the Islam. At the very foundation of Islam is a war which Prophet Muhammad fought at the beginning of the Hijrah calendar against the ruler of Mecca. With the war on Mecca, which was fought by an assembled army of tribes from Medina, Muhammad united entire Arabia on the basis of one religion, Islam. In the beginning years of Islam, Muhammad fought many wars, and the followers of the religion were all ferocious fighters. Muhammad is the founder of Islam and is considered the messenger of God. Muhammad, at the age of 40, claimed to get revelations from Gabriel. Muhammad's teaching form the holy text Quran, which are the fundamentals of Islamic religion. Islam believes that Quran is a collection of revelations that Muhammad had, and hence the holy book should always be specifically expressed or written in Arabic. Translation of Quran in other languages is discouraged to avoid misinterpretation and dilution of the holy text. Over a period of time, most of the people stopped using the Arabic dialect in which Quran was conceived or written. As a result, most of the modern day Muslims don't read or understand Quran. History of terrorism and relation with Muslims. The origin of the word terrorism since ancient times has always followed a wrong precedence, and due to the wrong start, till date, the world does not have a common definition of terrorism. The lack of consensus on the definition of terrorism is the main reason for which the act of terrorism still exists. The world is not united in the fight against terrorism, or the world is unaware what exactly is terrorism. The modern day word called terror was born, or rather formed, by the French government in the 17th century by Maximilien, who was a prominent member of Committee of Public Safety. Maximilien explained, "Terror is nothing other than justice, prompt, severe, inflexible." The foundation of religious terrorism was laid in Iran in the 1980s during the Islamic Revolution in Iran, in which 422 people were killed in Cinema Rex theatre. Both Christianity and Islam are invasive religions contrary to Hinduism. They both originated from a small area and spread through entire world, sometimes interfering through each other's territories, and hence there were always conflicts. An internal protest between government of Afghanistan and the rebellion group Mujahideen became a proxy war between two superpowers, America or USA and Russia or USSR, called as the Cold War. Osama bin Laden, born in the year 1951 in Saudi Arabia, jumped into the Cold War to support the Mujahideen against the Soviets, standing on the same side as the USA and Pakistan during the war, and became a Masiha of Jihad, a holy war against foreign powers committing atrocities against Muslims with his own army called the Al-Qaeda. During the 1990s, and with the emergence of Osama bin Laden, another catalyst which fueled the growth of Islamist rebels was the Gulf War, a war which started due to a greed for oil. Saddam Hussein, the then Iraqi leader, ordered invasion into Kuwait to capture oil fields and made Kuwait an Iraqi captured nation. The Kuwait-Iraq Gulf War started right after the Iran-Iraq War, which also was due to a border dispute. In all these Muslim country conflicts, one thing was common. While one party was supported by Americans, the other was supported by the Soviets. In the Cold War, Afghanistan was supported by Soviets, while Mujahideen was supported by Americans. In the Gulf War, Iraq was supported by Soviets, while the Kuwaitis were supported by Americans. In the Iraq-Iran War, Iraq used equipment supplied by the Soviets. It was like a proxy war between the Soviets and the Americans fought on Muslim lands. The ever-growing US economy wanted oil flowing into the country, and Saudi was its biggest supplier. So it was in the interest of USA to protect Saudi Arabia from the Russian-backed Iraq. Osama openly condemned Saudi for not taking his help and instead taking help from a foreign country. He termed the Saudi-USA alliance as unholy and against Islam. He criticized that Muslims do not need foreigners to defend Mecca and Medina. The American presence in the holy land of Mecca and Medina fueled bin Laden's anger, and he declared a war against the Americans, which resulted him organizing the September 11, 2001 WTO attacks. Post September 11, the words Islamic terrorism and bin Laden became synonymous, which ended with killing of Osama bin Laden by USA in the year 2011. In December 2003, Operation Red Dawn was conducted by American forces, which was opposed by Al-Qaeda unit in Iraq, which eventually became ISI in 2010. Later, ISI expanded its routes to Syria, supporting the rebels' war against the Syrian government, and renamed itself as ISIS, or Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, the most dreaded terrorist organization of current times. Another reason which triggered a religious war was the Israel-Palestine conflict, and at the epicenter of the conflict is a small area in Jerusalem which hosts the third most holy site of Muslims called as Al-Aqsa Mosque, the place where Muhammad traveled during his night journey before ascending to heaven. Osama bin Laden's religious war was against presence of Christians in the holy sites of Mecca and Medina and presence of Jews in the holy site of Al-Aqsa. Due to these reasons, the terrorism practiced by Osama bin Laden strengthened the modern-day Islamophobia or strengthened the notion that all terrorists are Muslims. The Arab world is a group of 22 countries spread across Western Asia, North of Africa and Horn of Africa. In the year 2010, a series of anti-government protests named as the Arab Spring started in the Arab world, starting from Tunisia and primarily affected Libya, Egypt, Yemen, Syria and Bahrain. The Arab Spring has created quite a few humanitarian crises in countries like Yemen and Syria, affecting millions of people till date. OIC, or Organization of Islamic Cooperation. OIC is the only organization which represents majority of Muslim population in the world on a unified platform with common objectives. Founded in the year 1969, it currently has 57 member states jointly representing nearly 1.8 billion Muslims. One of the main OIC charter points on the Israel-Palestine-Jerusalem conflict is to support the struggle of the Palestinian people who are presently under foreign occupation and to empower them to attain their inalienable rights. The stand of OIC on Jerusalem conflict is an issue. The stand has put the entire Islamic community at war with the Jews. When the same ideology is reflected by some dreaded organizations like Al-Qaeda and openly expressed by powerful terrorists like Osama bin Laden, the rest of the world is drawing parallels to Islam and terrorism, giving rise to Islamophobia. The never-ending Arab world OIC-Israel conflicts and wars with severe humanitarian crisis due to Arab Spring is not helping the general notion of Islam supporting terrorism. The fear of Islam by the West was born out of the Cold War, the Arab-Israel conflict, and the political crisis originating due to the Arab Spring across multiple Muslim countries like Syria, Libya, Egypt, etc. These conflicts are also causing migrations of Muslim population which live life in other countries, and the children remain socially backward, resulting in increased crime rates committed by Muslims originating from conflict zones. Then there are these eternal conflicts in places like Jammu and Kashmir which are putting additional stress on Muslim population with no solution in near future. OIC must take a larger role in the welfare of Muslim community and beyond resolution of Jerusalem to correct the image of Muslims. One organization which has potential to resolve the global terrorism issue is the UNCCT, or United Nations Counter-Terrorism Center. But the functioning and mission of UNCCT is not effective or the best way to resolve terrorism issue. There are some fundamental issues in the functioning of UNCCT. The issues which are not helping de-escalation of Islamophobia are use of word extremism. In the UNCCT coordination and coherence statement, the use of word extremism is biased towards the expression Islamic terrorism. This is not helping in lifting the prejudice against Islam as an extremist religion that supports terrorism and further strengthens Islamophobia. UNCCT must work to eliminate terrorism in every form. Dominance of Saudi Arabia and Qatar in the functioning of UNCCT. Saudi and Qatar accounts for 80% of UNCCT's funding, and by accepting such a funding mechanism from two countries with opposing interests raises question on integrity of UNCCT. The Middle Eastern Cold War. The tussle between Shia Muslim-dominated Iran and Sunni-dominated Saudi Arabia has created a political and religious war-like situation that is reminiscent of the US-USSR Cold War. In the aftermath of Arab Spring, Saudi Arabia formed the GCC, or Gulf Cooperation Council, with an intention to sideline Iran and strengthen Saudi's grip on the countries affected by the Arab Spring, further fueling power struggle between Iran and rest of the Arab world. Ouster of Qatar from GCC. Qatar is at loggerheads with prominent GCC member states like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, UAE and Egypt, due to conflicting interests of Qatar in organizations like Muslim Brotherhood and political ties with Iran. World's view on Iran. Most countries in the world, including the United Nations, fear of nuclear terrorism, and Iran is on the forefront of the list of countries which possess a threat to start the nuclear terrorism. Iran is considered as the largest state sponsor of terrorism and believed to have close ties with Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and other Palestinian groups, Islamic Jihad (PIJ), and the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine General Command or PELPGC. A better nuclear non-proliferation treaty where Iran doesn't feel threatened to pursue nuclear fuel enrichment for civilian use needs to be established. Turkey, NATO and the Black Sea diplomacy. NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is an alliance between 30 European and North American countries formed in the year 1949 with political and military bonds to counter the threat from Soviet Union. NATO's core principle states, terrorism poses a direct threat to the security of the citizens of NATO countries and to international stability and prosperity more broadly. Extremist groups continue to spread to and in areas of strategic importance to the alliance, and modern technology increases the threat and potential impact of terrorist attacks, in particular if terrorists were to acquire nuclear, chemical, biological or radiological capabilities. The adjectivization of terrorism with words extremist groups is an issue which is seen in the definition of many other organizations like UNCCT. As per FBI, the top 4 extremist groups are Al-Qaeda, Al-Sahab, Hezbollah and ISIL or ISIS, which also happen to be the top terrorist organizations with Islamic belief, further strengthening the notion of Islamophobia. Turkey is an Islamic country geographically located in an area which is strategically very important for NATO to get access to the Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Black Sea holds great importance to Russia as well. Black Sea has the only warm water port which Russia has, so it provides a shipping highway to Russia, and hence Black Sea has huge economical and strategic importance to Russia. Other countries which border the Dead Sea like Turkey is a NATO member, while Ukraine and Georgia are aspirants to join NATO. Ukraine and Georgia are under partial occupation of Russia, which brings special attention of NATO to the Black Sea region and hence highlights the importance of Turkey as a NATO member in the region. Recently, Turkey under the leadership of President Erdogan is taking steps which is attracting the ire of USA and NATO members, and the center to this ire are the growing Turkey-Russia military relationships. Since the 2016 failed coup, Turkey has found a new friend in Russia and inked multiple civil and military deals with Russia. Turkey blames USA and CIA to be influencer in the failed coup against government and alleged failed assassination. One such deal is buying the Russian-made world's best S-400 anti-aircraft missile defense system. Russian military equipment presence in Turkey is quite opposing to NATO's interest in the area, and USA felt threatened with presence of S-400 in the region, and this Turkey-Russia closeness has resulted in USA ejecting Turkey from the F-35 program with a potential stop on support of legacy aircrafts like the F-16. Fallout of Turkey from NATO due to recent developments is imminent, and when this happens, Turkey will most likely join the list of Islamic countries which are called anti-American and will be tagged as an Islamic extremist country which acts against the interest of Americans and hence strengthening Islamophobia. The history is checkered with examples of state-sponsored terrorism for political benefits, and for some reason Muslim groups or people of Islamic faith were always at the center of these conflicts. Be it support of USA to Al-Qaeda, support of Iran to Hezbollah and Hamas, Russia's supports to Iran for the Arab Cold War, which indirectly supports Hezbollah, the Cold Wars in Middle East to the Arab Spring political crisis to the Palestine issue to Kashmir. The Muslim world is going through some or other type of crisis and war which is labeled by the West as fear of Islam or Islamophobia or Islamic extremism or Islamic terrorism. Common platforms like United Nations has miserably failed in providing a widely accepted definition of terrorism, and organizations like UNCCT are dysfunctional with fundamental issues like source of funding from conflicting members or paper organizations which are more interested in presenting a corporate style financial statement rather than resolving the conflicts giving rise to terrorism. The Muslim world itself is not united in defying the general notion of Islamophobia by not treating all Muslim countries equally and condemning terrorist acts. Relations of Iran with the Arab world, role of Turkey in Muslim world, the Arab Spring countries, Palestine issue, the unfinished Cold War business in Afghanistan and the aftermath in Iraq post USA capture of Saddam Hussein are all matters to be resolved before even attempting to resolve the notion called Islamophobia. Commonly accepted leadership by both Shias and Sunnis in the Muslim world is another issue which doesn't seem to have a near future solution. Islamophobia actually is a pseudo of politics, and the overall unrest in Muslim countries is just strengthening the prejudice. As in the case of Cold War, oil should not be the cause of America's aggression in Middle East and foreign land anymore, as its domestic production of oil is taking care of most of its needs, and Canada has emerged as a supplier of interest, beating supply from Middle East. So if it's not oil, the next Cold War or real war can be because of political unrest in Islamic countries across the world or Islamophobia.